Guys, thanks for coming. I know it's sometimes hard to get off from work and get out. I've a lot of guys. I see some guys who've driven quite a few miles to get here, so I appreciate that. Pretty excited about this trip. If everything holds together, if everything holds together, I don't want to do that. This should be a trip to probably rival 2006. And 2006 was our best year ever down there. So if everything holds up, if the weather lets us fish, it's going to be an amazing trip. And I say that because of this. The spring this year was just like it was in 2006. We had an early spring in 2006. The fish went to the same places this year they went to in 2006. They got to Pennsylvania about the same time. A lot of fish went all the way to New York. A lot of fish went all the way to Buffalo. The movements of the fish this year, as I talked to everybody I know down the coast and tracked where the fish were going this summer, everything was exactly the way it was in 2006, which means the fish should be back about the same time they were in 2006. Some of you guys were on the 2006 trip. That was it's amazing. The fish in Lake Erie are primed for another great year. There's a huge number of 8, 9, 10-year-old fish. The 2003 year class was very, very, very strong. There's some remnants. 2004 was pretty strong. There's some remnants left from 2002. And then the 2007 year class is pretty strong. So we should see a good number of fish, 23, 25 inches, and a lot of fish, 28, 29, 30, 31. There's going to be a lot of giant targets available this year. Everything's kind of lining up for a good year. So
we shouldn't keep anything less than 23.
Oh, I don't care what you keep, but if you're looking for a trophy, don't settle at 28. If you get an 8-pounder the first day, I would wait, because you're probably going to end up with a bigger one. So the fishing, I don't want to jinx this, but the fishing should be pretty good. I'm pretty excited about the way things are, like I said, the way things are laying out and the way everything's going to work for us. So, well, I'm just going to take a few minutes. I'm going to kind of run through some of the stuff that some of you who have never been to a trip before kind of need to know. I'm going to run through this real fast, and then what we'll do is we'll kind of get into the actual business of tonight. Okay. This is available on the website. If you go to the website, go to walleye101.com, go to the trophy hunts, upper left-hand corner, click on the Lake Erie fall trip, and then in the middle of the page it says itinerary, details, directions. Please print this off, especially you guys who haven't been before. Print this off. It has kind of all the details of what's going on. What we're going to do when we get there is basically we have 3 basic locations that you kind of need to know about. We have the hotel, we have the conservation club, where we're going to do all of our meetings, and then we have the boat ramp. Okay? Not to scale. Not even close to scale. Important, especially you guys with boats, it is important, actually critical, that when you get into town, do not go to the hotel, do not go to the conservation club until you go to the boat ramp and drop your boat off. Okay? They got a nice big giant grass place there to park your boats. We've been parking them there for 10 years now without ever having a problem. Park them there, unhook them, and then continue on with everything else you have to do. But take your boat here first. There's no place at the hotel to park the boats, and it gets kind of crowded. There's no place here really to even turn around with a boat. This gets kind of hairy the way the driveway is laid out. It's a little better than it used to be, but still kind of hairy. So get into town, get your boat dropped off. If you want to come early Thursday and fish, have at it. Okay? If you can get into town early Thursday and fish, go fishing. But drop your boats off before you do anything else.
Come charged up. There's no electricity on the hill.
There's no electricity on the hill, but if you need to charge up every night, let me know. We can get you down close to where the chargers are. The best thing to do if you need to charge up, if you need to charge every night, if all you're using is a electric motor, the best thing to do for 15 bucks a night is get a slip. Keep your boat in the water, cover it up, plug in every night. Okay? If you don't want to do that, but you, what's that?
It's a special plug to plug in.
It does take it, yeah, make sure you've got a
Marine plug or something. I forgot.
Yeah, it's made by Marine Co. They have them down there. They're not cheap. They're $35, $40. If you need one, let me know. We can get you one. But it's that 30 amp plug-in, that 3-prong 30 amp. Bring an extension cord. If you don't want to leave your boat in the water but need to charge up, let me know. We can get some guys parked down to where we clean the fish. You can leave your boat on the trailer and dump it there. Pick it up in the morning and hook it up to your truck and dump it in the water. So if you don't want to leave your boat in the water, that's fine, but that's the best way to do it if you need to charge. Okay, so please get all your stuff done before you go to the hotel, and we'll go through all the stuff here in just a second. If it's your first trophy hunt, when you get there, there will be somebody at the Conservation Club will have a little area set up for the new guys. Just kind of walk you through what's going on. Not you're in town, we'll kind of walk you through, just so you know what's going on. I'm not quite sure who's going to be there as far as tackle vendors. I'm hoping I got a few guys who said they may come, especially Friday night or Saturday night. If they are, just like always, they'll be in the hotel conference room. We have the hotel conference room again this trip, which we didn't have last year, which I didn't like. We'll talk about that in just a second. When you check in, we'll have a name badge for you. Okay, going to ask if you're a member, please bring your members only name badge. Okay. When you check in, we'll have a name badge for you. Please wear that anytime you're around any of the other guys so everybody knows who everybody else is. Scotty?
Jumping the boat on.
Yep.
Whole trailer and everything, just drop it off.
Just drop her off. Yep.
And there's designated spots for us. So
We'll have somebody there.
we'll have somebody there.
Yep. We'll have somebody there to tell you where to park it.
That's
And,
where to park.
yep.
Okay.
You better listen to him. Because it might be Duncan. He gets kind of cranky when he gets hungry. Usually at 4 o'clock, he's kind of hungry. So when you get your name tags, please wear them at any of the stuff that we do, just so everybody kind of knows who everybody else is. This trip is not a fishing trip, just a fishing trip. It's about meeting new friends. It's about talking to new people. It's about a lot of different things. I know there's a couple guys here who've met people on these trips that they now fish with, and it's just a really good time to spend some time hanging out with guys who love the same thing you love. So wear your name badge so everybody can kind of know who everybody is, and I can yell at you if you're acting up.
How many people are on the trip?
I think we're right around 75 or 76 right now. So a pretty good number. We like 70 to 80 is about right. You get more than 80, it gets a little, You get less than 80, it's not as much fun. 80 is a pretty good number, okay? Thursday when you check in, bring an SD card, and we will give you the reference Waypoint file. I'll walk over that in just a second. If you have a Lowrance, it's really, really, really easy. If you have a Humminbird, we can take care of it for you. It'll cost you $100 if you have a Humminbird, but we'll take care of you. If you have a Lowrance, it's very, very simple to get the waypoints. We do have the Humminbird software, so we can take care of that for you. Some of you have asked for first floor rooms, rollaway beds, blah, 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 blah. I sent all that stuff all those requests to Matt, the hotel manager. But you have to remember that he's trying to manage a hotel. And he's given us a pretty good rate. So we do the best we can to get all that done. Single room requests we can take care of. You guys who want a single room, it's an extra $50 this year. We can take care of you on a single room if you want to, but first floors, we try. Matt does a pretty good job of doing that, but just be aware it may not happen. Because if he has other paying guests who are paying full rate, he's going to stick them where they want to be before he's going to stick us. So he does a pretty good job of that, but just want to say it's not 100% guaranteed. If you have an issue at the hotel, don't go to the desk. Come and see me or Duncan, okay? Myself and Duncan will be there. Jeff will be there on this trip. Larry Billings will be there, so come and see one of the four of us if you have an issue, and then we'll take care of it, okay? Let us handle all the issues, so we'll take care of all that. At check-in, each boat cabin is going to be assigned a boat board, just a little piece of wood with a number on it, okay? This is pretty critical, especially you guys who haven't been here before. You'll get a boat board on Thursday night, okay? If you are fishing out of your boat Friday morning, take the boat board with you in the boat. If you are not fishing out of your boat Friday, leave the boat board either at the hotel or at the fish cleaning station, so I know you didn't go out in your boat. When you come back at night, if you took your boat, bring your boat board back. There'll be a bucket to drop it off at the fish cleaning station. That way when we have all the boat boards that left, we know everybody is back. I have bad dreams every day that somewhere down the road we're going to end up going to look for somebody. So please follow the boat board rule. The next morning at the hotel, before breakfast, we'll have the boat boards laid out. And if you're taking your boat, take your board. Okay? Just kind of same number all weekend. Yep. Just kind of makes it a little easier for for me. Okay? The other thing we're going to have you do when you come in at night, you're going to come into the harbor. The harbor kind of lays out. There's a couple piers sticking out. You'll come in this way from the lake. We'll have somebody positioned down at the first pier. When you pass that person the first pier, please hold up your boat number. It does a couple things. Number one, it lets us know you're in. Number two, at that point, what we're going to do is kind of shuffle you over here in your boat, have you guys hold up some fish, take a picture, and that way we know whose boat number we just took a picture of. That way, if we don't know who's who, we know we can match up people with a boat board. We usually know who everybody is, but say the guys running this trip are getting a little older, and we don't always remember as good as we used to. They're a little low right now, but there's no issues where we're launching right now. If there is an issue with the water level where we launch, we'll leave the boats there, hook up in the morning, and then just drive around to the public launch, which is a little deeper water if we have to. So we'll be able to, we won't have an issue fishing, let's put it that way. We won't have an issue getting into the water. Ohio fishing license, obviously you need an Ohio fishing license. Hope I didn't have to say that. Okay. Non-resident license, 3 days or $19. A seasonal is $40. The easiest way to get them is online. You can get them online. You print them out. They print out exactly the size of a business card. Print it out, sign it, cut it out. Take it to Staples for 99 cents. They'll laminate it for you, and away you go. Okay? Unlike Michigan that prints them out, and what am I supposed to do with that? So they do come out the right size. Okay? If you don't want to get them online, there is a Walmart and a Meijer's not too far from the hotel. Get them online and be ready to go. Just get them and be ready to go. Okay? It's 2012. Shouldn't be going to the store to buy fishing licenses anymore. Okay? All right, let's run through the itinerary real fast. Sometime early in the morning on Thursday, we'll let you guys know as we get closer. If everything works out all right, we'll have some stuff going on. I've got a couple vendors I want to come. Rangers talked about coming and doing some boat rides. I'm trying to get a couple other guys coming and doing some cool things. So hopefully that will work out. If you want to drop your boat, if you want to come to town early and drop your boat and just kind of hang out around town, that's fine. I'm going to ask you to not come to the Conservation Club to check in till about 5 o'clock. Because we have a lot of things to do that day that we have to get done and ready and set up. Okay? So
traveling time we're going to look at getting down there?
It's exactly 3 hours from here.
Okay.
It's almost dead nuts 180 miles from here. About right for you? It's 180 miles from my driveway.
You go tollway?
Yeah, I go the tollway. Yeah, I go as fast as I can go. I go. I'm not a slow guy.
I just like Route 2.
Route 2 is fun, but if you get behind somebody on Route 2, scenic route. Yeah. Yes, don't come to the Conservation Club till 5 o'clock. I'd prefer you wait till 6, but don't get there because there's too much people walking in and out. Then it just gets kind of. We got a lot of things to do. You're on your own for dinner on Thursday. Okay, and you'll get an email here next week about some stuff. Larry's working on some stuff with local restaurants. So there'll be some specials going on Thursday night for dinner at our normal places. Okay, 4 o'clock to 7 o'clock at Holiday Harbor where you're going to drop your boats. The Ohio DNR will be there to do boat inspections. Okay, they do a boat inspection. Okay, and they give you a sticker. Now that sticker isn't going to get you out of trouble, but I will tell you that if you have that sticker on your boat, somebody that drives by just looking for somebody probably isn't going to stop you. They're probably going to stop somebody else. Okay? So having that sticker is a pretty cool deal. We'll talk about some of the requirements that are different in Ohio than here in just a second. 4 o'clock to 7 o'clock. Okay? He will stay later. He just called me yesterday. He says, hey, if you want me there earlier, fine. If you want me there later. 4 to 7 is about, if he gets there too early, there's only 1 or 2 guys. It takes about 15 minutes to get your boat inspected. So we'll give you a list we'll send you another email here next week. We'll give you a list of stuff you want to have ready for the inspection, have it out, have it ready to go. I will tell you this real fast. The biggest issue, you might want to look at your boat when you go home. The biggest issue that stops guys from getting a sticker, MC numbers. Okay, to pass the inspection and to actually be legal in the state of Michigan, They must be 3 inches tall. They must be full block. So that means it's not legal. They must be full block letters. They must be 3 inches tall. And they must be spaced right. The proper spacing MC and then a letter space. If you want to leave it open, if you want to put a dash there, that's fine too. MC a space, 4 numbers, a space, last 2 letters, registration sticker. So on the left side of your boat, it's going to read MC, number, registration. On the right side of your boat, it's going to start in the middle of the boat. Okay? On the right side. On the starboard side of the boat, looking at the starboard side, it's going to be MC, number, letter, registration. So the registration goes towards the bow of the boat on the starboard side, goes towards the middle of the boat. Okay? They'll get you for that, and you won't pass. That's the biggest thing. And they must be contrasting color. You're not going to get by with black letters on a blue boat. Okay? And everybody, I'll tell you what, think about it. If you're in trouble and you call the Coast Guard and say, hey, I'm MC 123456, I'm sinking, wouldn't you want to be able to see you? And say, hey, that's the guy I need to go get. They're not trying to do anything. They're not trying to, they just want to be able to identify a boat. That's the biggest thing the guys get stuck on. If you got your numbers done in marina, check them for full block, check them for 3 inch. A lot of marinas use 2 3/4 inch letters. No good. That's actually a federal law, so everybody knows. So, okay. 7 o'clock at the Conservation Club. We'll just have a little get together, and as soon as we get everybody there and settled, we'll go into a seminar on Thursday night. Okay? Give you a big rundown on what's happening, where to go, what the water temperature is, what lures are banging, how fast we're fishing. We'll really get you fired up into what's going on, where the fishing is. Okay? That's Thursday night. The next couple days are pretty simple. 7 o'clock, they usually have breakfast ready for us about 5:30, 5:45 at the hotel. They just have, nothing fancy, cold cereal, milk, fruit, bagels, donuts. So if you want to eat breakfast there, you can. Larry's also working on some specials for breakfast at some of the local hotels or local restaurants. So we'll have that stuff for you. Fish all day, okay? But you have to understand this. Okay, we're going to set up a fish cleaning station for you. Okay? There'll be a fish cleaning station set up at the boat ramp every day at 3 o'clock. Okay? At 5 o'clock every day it'll be gone. Because somebody has to set it up, somebody has to take it down. And it's usually somebody who pays for their trip and volunteers to do it. So I'm not going to make them spend 5 hours hanging out at the fish cleaning station. Up at 3, down at 5. It is illegal in Ohio to dispose of fish carcasses. You cannot put them in the garbage. Okay? You cannot put them in the hotel dumpster. We have an arrangement with a nursery down there. We take the stuff over to their compost pile and dump it. That'll happen about 5:15 every day. So get in, get your fish clean. I'll tell you this. A lot of you guys have been there. If you ain't got them by 3 o'clock, you ain't going to get them. Okay? If you ain't figured it out by then, you're not going to get it. Just get in and get your fish clean. Okay? So there will be a fish cleaning station set up. It'll be set up from noon to 2 on Sunday.
Is there electricity and water?
Electricity, we'll supply all that stuff. We'll supply tables. We'll have electrical cords for you. We'll have buckets to put your fish in. We'll have everything except knives. There's water there. There's everything there you need. Okay? You're responsible for bringing your knives and figuring out how to store your fish. Okay?
We don't have a freezer available.
We do not have a freezer available. Nope. So we're going to just bring a good cooler and full ice and stick them in there.
How much skin you gotta leave on?
We'll talk about that in just a second. Because, yeah, that's gotten kind of goofy. Please bleed your fish. If you don't know how to bleed your fish, we're going to show you Thursday night when we're at the hall. Do not bring a fish to the cleaning station unbled. I won't let you clean it. Because we can all catch our 6 fish. All 75 guys can catch 6 fish all bled out. It'll take us 5 minutes to clean up. One guy bring one not bled. It's going to take us an hour to clean up. So we'll show you how to bleed the fish Thursday night. Very, very simple way to do it, okay? You can keep one fish per boat for the big fish pot. Every day, Thursday or Friday and Saturday, there's a big fish pot. So feel free to keep one on bled, and we've got a place there. After we weigh it, we'll cut its throat and put him in the harbor there and let him bleed out while you're cleaning your other fish. Okay, so one fish per boat, because obviously if his is bigger than yours, you'll need yours, right? If you have a fish that you think is a personal best, feel free to bring it in on bled too, and we'll weigh it. We've got an IGFA certified scale, so we'll weigh it and we'll get you a number on your personal best. We also have what we call a bragging board. So you can hang your fish up. We want you to come in with the guys you went fishing with that day, have your sweatshirts on, hang your fish up on the bragging board, let our guy take a picture of you, and then you can head over to fish cleaning station. Okay? So again, it's not just about catching fish. There's a lot more to it. Are you okay with that? Okay. Not much else going on. Friday after dinner, there'll be dinner at the Conservation Club. Dinner's at 6. Just like Grandma's cabin in the summer. You ain't there, you ain't eating. Okay? I'm not going to cook for you at 7:30. Dinner's at 6. Be there at 6. Be ready to go. Friday night, we're going to try to do our group photo. Please have your sweatshirts. Anytime we're gathering an opportunity to take pictures or video, please have your sweatshirts on. That's just kind of a nice little thing. Okay? So we'll try to do the group photo Friday. And then as soon as we're done, as soon as we get in, get food done, get our picture taken, we can get into the seminar. We'll wrap up that day's fishing. We'll talk about what was caught, where it was caught, how it was caught, adjustments to make tomorrow. Okay? And then we'll kind of go into a little seminar. And then once we're done with that, head back to the hotel. And you guys who have never been here before, I'm going to tell you, sleep in a little bit. Don't get on the water till 8:30. You ain't missing on the fish. Don't bite till 9. Anybody want to argue with me?
That's only because you're out there.
They don't bite till I get there, and I ain't getting there till 9. So there's no sense going early. You may laugh, but how many guys have tried before 9 o'clock? It just doesn't happen. Fish start at 9 o'clock. Sleep in an extra hour in the morning. Plan on staying up a couple extra hours at night. Because the hanging out in the conference room at the hotel and just talking to guys, just BSing, is some of the best part of the trip. Some of the best part of the trip. You'd be amazed what you learn just sitting around talking about fishing with guys. Okay? Saturday's the same thing. The only difference on Saturdays, we have a fish fry. We'll talk about that in just a second. Everything else happens and everything else goes exactly the same. We'll do the fish fry. Again, 6 o'clock, we're going to have dinner. Okay, we'll try to have dinner about 6 o'clock. So get in, get your fish clean, get done, get back over, and get ready to go. And then Sunday, you're on your own to come and go as you please. Okay? Pretty simple. I don't ask too much of you. Just be where you're supposed to be when you're supposed to be there.
You store we can get some lunches?
They're going to have box lunches set up on Thursday night. If you want to order box lunches, you'll be able to order them and pay for them Thursday night, and then they'll have them for you. Take care of. Larry's taking care of all that stuff. So you'll get an email probably next week that's got all that details in it.
How much they're going to be for lunch?
I have no clue. They're probably $6, $7. Sandwich, piece of fruit, chips, pop. You know, they're usually $6, $7.
These are probably questions that you guys already know. How many fish can you catch versus how many in Michigan? Same amount?
Wait till I get to the next section. Okay.
Sorry.
If you guys can volunteer, there's always stuff to do. So if you want to help, please help. There's always pop cans to pick up. There's always garbage to be emptied. There's always, so if you see something, just makes it a whole lot better for everybody if we just all kind of pitch in a little bit. So that helps. All right, 6 fish per angler. They must be 15 inches in size. Okay, I'm hoping nobody's measuring 15 inches. Each angler can fish with 2 rods with up to 3 hooks per rod. Okay, if you want to run double baits on a rod, come see me. Just don't do it. Okay, just run 1 lure on a rod and be done with it. Okay, it's 3 hooks. It's not like Michigan, we can run 2 lures on a rod. It's 3 hooks per rod. So if you want to run a crankbait and a spoon, as long as the crankbait's only got 2 hooks on it, you can run the spoon. If the crankbait's got 3 hooks, you have to take one of the hooks off. You can only have 3 hooks on a rod. 2 rods per angler, not 3. Like here in Michigan. 2 rods per angler. That's why it's nice to have 3 guys in the boat. That's why it's nice to have 3 guys in the boat. And you got 6 rods. Okay? There are conservation hours. We run into COs every year down there. So just kind of play it by ear. Okay? Now, The law for fish says this, as best as I've been able to get an answer from people I trust. The law on fish says this. 1 inch by 1 inch square skin on a fillet. Okay, you have to leave a piece of skin on the fillet so they can tell it's a walleye. All right, so you can't chunk up your fish like we used to do. Okay, they must be identifiable by angler, by day, and be able to identify how many fish you have.
We can have 3 days in our possession.
There is no possession limit in Ohio. There's a daily limit, no possession limit. So you can have 18, no problem. You have to be able, yeah, if that guy says, how long were you here? Well, I got my 3-day license. I fished Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So show me your Sunday fish. You better be able to go, there's my Sunday fish. There's 12 fillets in there. Show me your buddies. There's Joe's 12 fillet. You better be able to identify them by angler, by day, and by number. Best way to do it, honestly, guys, take one fish, fillet it, put it in a bag, put your name on it, date it, put one walleye, done. That way there's no question what's going on. Remember, Jay used to make us do that. And we use his big freezers, right? Put a tag on your stuff. And so, okay, identifiable, have to be able to do that. Okay? Talk about the radio stuff in just a second. I'll be sneaking around. We probably won't have another photographer other than the guys in my boat. So we'll be sneaking around during the course of the day. If you see me pull up, or I'll call you on the radio. If you got some fish, throw your sweatshirt on, hold a couple fish, let's take some pictures of you on the water. Just kind of a nice little thing. It's nice for us to have, hopefully nice for you guys to have. If you're taking your own photos, love to have a copy of them. The best thing to do, everybody should have a digital camera, right? Nobody's using film anymore. Okay? If you have a digital camera and you take pictures during the course of the day, bring me your chip and we'll just download it into the computer and we'll have your photos on the water. Okay? Take photos. If you're going to take photos, take them in landscape, which is this way, as opposed to this way. It's a lot easier to crop and make these look good. Okay? Watch the background. I can't tell you how many pictures we had of a guy holding a great big giant fish and there's a fishing rod growing out of his head. Okay? Watch the background. Take a minute to look at look at the background. That's one of my dad's great picture. Got a tree growing on my head. So
Turn your flash on if you know how to do that too.
if you know how to turn your flash on, turn your flash, and that'll fill in the shadows in your face. It'll make the fish colors pop right out.
Better also hold the
Okay.
fish out.
And don't hold the fish way out. Okay. We'll have a fish holding meeting on Thursday. Guys, wipe the blood off your fish. I can't tell you how many beautiful fish we've seen, and they just look like crap. You know, they got blood running down their gills. They got dirty sweatshirt, cigarette in front, tree growing on somebody's head. Guy holding a fish like this, right, with his hands in front. You know, we'll talk about Thursday how to hold fish. Just good pictures, good pictures, good pictures. Okay, and then that's all, just the details. This stuff is all on the internet, guys. I'll send you an email with this link, but if you want to get it right away, just go to the website and you can grab it. This is actually, where are we at here? C is actually the hotel. D is one of the restaurants that we use. F up here is one of the restaurants that we use. B is where the Conservation Club is, and then E is where the boat ramp is. There's a little party store at A if you need to get ice every day or pop or whatever. They have that right there. So
Far enough across Lake Erie to Canada? Is it a long way?
it's 14 and a half miles straight out to get to
You
Canada.
don't have to worry about it.
Most guys don't, no.
Okay.
Unless you're definitely.
Yeah, you don't need to. We will take tackle down there. We'll have reef runners down there. We'll have crankbaits down there. I'll have a couple reels down there. We'll have line down there. We'll have some stuff down there if you need to get it. Just kind of is what it is. All right, if we get a situation where we can't fish, okay, two things will happen. Number one is we'll let you probably know the night before or first thing that morning. And I will tell you this, if there is any weather advisory posted by the Coast Guard, we will not fish that day. So if there's a small craft advisory, if there's anything going on, the day is canceled. Okay? No fishing. I'm not going to take a chance on anybody getting hurt and we shouldn't go. Okay? Two things will happen. About 11 o'clock that afternoon or that morning, we'll be at the hall ready to go. We'll be doing seminars all day. So some of the best seminars we've done have been on blow days at Huron, Ohio. Some of the stuff we just get a chance to really get into. We don't have other time to get into. The other thing is this, the big fish money from that day, what we do is we just take the big fish money that day and we just raffle it off. We usually do two or three pieces of it that night at dinner. Okay? We used to move it forward and everybody has, so we just keep that big fish money that day and away we go. Okay?
Is that included land stuff?
Yep, that's all. Yep, you don't have to worry about that. That's all. Nope, all part of the trip. It's all in the $300. Okay? Any questions on any of that stuff?
Like your fish fry, we cooking it again this, or you got somebody else cooking?
No, if you have a fryer and can bring it, I need you to let me know that you can bring a fryer, preferably by email. We're going to need probably 6 or 7 fryers. We're going to do it ourselves again. You know, believe it or not, a lot of the guys like doing it. A lot of the guys like hanging out and cooking fish. So by popular request, we're going to cook our own fish again. So.
You talked about the difference in boat laws on Ohio.
Yep, we're going to get
Talked
there.
about the numbers, but okay.
We're going to get there. We're going to get there.
Talk about something else.
We're going to get there. Yep. Give me 2 seconds. Any other questions on any of that stuff?
Okay, that's that stuff.
Yeah, I'll get there in just a second. So you guys who haven't been here before, we're good? Okay. Like I said, I'll send you a link to this stuff so you have it. Okay?
Dinner included or no?
Dinner's included every day except Thursday.
Okay.
You're on your own Thursday. Breakfast Friday, Saturday, Sunday at the hotel. Dinner Friday, Saturday. So other than that, your Thursday night's the only day you're on your own. Okay?
Are we keeping fish for these trips?
No, we have fish donated. So they just did the Fish Huron tournament. Not the Walleye Central one, but the Fish Huron. And they kept all the fish and donated to us. So we have fish all done. We don't have to keep any of our fish for donating. That's good. That's a good question. All right, a couple things you have to be aware of that are a big deal. Obviously, life jackets. Everybody on board needs at least one Type 3 for each person, right? And you need one Type 5, which is a throwable on the boat. Okay, that's pretty much, no, just one. You need one Type 5 throwable on the boat. Everybody needs a Type 3, okay? I'm going to tell you this, guys, I cannot stress this enough, especially in the fall. If you're not going to have it on, have it out.
Can you show us the definition of a type 3?
I can. A type 3 is basically the life jackets everybody wears. Just a little.
So the ones that you wear.
Yeah, that's a Type 3. Yep. You can use those, or you can just the strap on, just your regular life jacket.
But the ones you puff up are not life jackets unless they're on.
And, well, it depends which one you buy.
Like the
There are some Type 3. There are some of those are Type 3,
Okay,
but they don't have to be on. Some are Type 5 that have to be on to be a Type 3.
okay.
So you got to kind of watch that. Yeah.
What's the difference?
The ones that are automatically inflate.
A Type 5 is what they consider a throwable.
Okay.
Okay? The reason that manual and automatic inflatables usually aren't Type 3s, and you'll see the difference over here, we have 3 different types over here. The ones on each side are actually Type 3s, so you don't have to have it on to have it count. And what you'll see is on the side there's a little clear plastic circle. So you can tell if it's armed or not. You can tell if it's going to work or not. That's what makes it a Type 3. The ones that are sealed and you can't see if it's armed or not, that's a Type 5 unless you have it on. The other ones you can have in the boat, don't have to have them on, they still count. Okay, so everybody in the boat needs a Type 3 PFD. I would strongly encourage you have something that you are comfortable wearing. Put it on at the dock, leave it on until you get it back on land. We've beat this horse a couple times, and we've known a few people this year who've had issues with boats going down that fast, people being stranded, issues. I would really like to see everybody have a life jacket on the whole time they're in the boat. Would really like to see that. Okay? All right, here's a couple of the big things. Okay? There's your numbers. All right, be careful. Get your numbers right. PFDs, again, make sure you have one. If you don't have your PFDs out, if a guy pulls up and says, hey, show me your life jackets, you open a compartment to get them out, you will get a ticket. The law says they must be readily accessible. in a storage compartment is not readily accessible. Best thing I can tell you to do is take them out. Stick. If you're not going to wear them, put them over the back of your chair. So they're at least out.
Does the throwable have to be out too?
Throwable has to be readily accessible. Again, don't have it in a compartment. If you got, like my boat, I've got a little cutout in the bow section where I just leave it right there. Okay? You want to really make, this is not a requirement, but you really, really, really want to make the officer happy, have a rope attached to your throwable. That makes them really happy. That really makes them happy. Okay? 30 feet, 40 feet. Yeah, I just take, you can buy those 50-foot anchor ropes, or they're like, $5.99 for a spool of, I don't even take the zip ties off. I just hook it to the throwable and away we go. So just kind of makes them happy.
I use an old Doc mooring line.
Yeah, just something. Yeah.
You got 20 feet.
You must have distress signals. We're on Lake Erie. You must have distress signals. Daytime, nighttime, flares work for both. Understand this, guys. There are expiration dates on your flares. They don't last forever.
Most of the time they're August, so check.
Yeah, you're right. Most of the time they're July or August, for whatever reason that is. Check your flares, okay? You want to make your CO happy? Have a emergency flag. It's an SOS flag. It's a big orange flag about this big. It's got a ball and a square on it.
He gave me a problem with that last time.
We-
It's not, not necessarily for Lake Erie. That's an inland, but he was giving me a problem because I didn't have it.
Right.
So I went and got
Yeah,
it.
it's not required. Again, I'm saying if you want to keep your CO happy,
Yeah, I went and got it.
if you want to keep your CO happy, have a distress flag.
Yep, I went and got it.
Okay? You must have a manual sounding device. Electric horn on your boat does not count. You must have a way to make a noise without the motor running or the battery. Okay? We've got some Pfds whistles over here, so when it gets cold, the little P in there sometimes stick. We got Pfds whistles are $5-6. That works. One of those air horns works. You must have a way to signal without using electricity.
Okay, does it have to be readily available?
Yes.
I mean, I got mine still in a plastic case on a hook on the side of the boat.
How fast can you get to it?
Huh?
How fast can you get to it?
Half a minute.
Well, I've seen a lot of shit happen in a half a minute.
Okay, fine. I'm saying I put it in a glove compartment.
Open it up, have it out.
Huh?
Oh, get it out, get it somewhere where you've got it.
Okay, I can get
Yep.
to it. Okay.
I just take a whistle and drape it over my
You just
throttle.
do a police whistle?
Yeah, just a whistle.
Just a plastic whistle.
Yep, fast a whistle. I just drape it over my throttle control.
Hook it to your life jacket. Okay.
Hook it to your life jacket. Okay? Okay, anchor requirements. You must have an anchor. Listen to this. This is important. This is where Ohio changes from Michigan. Okay? You must have an anchor capable of holding your boat in severe weather. You've got a 20-foot tournament walleye boat, you ain't gonna get by with an 8-foot mushroom anchor or an 8-pound mushroom anchor. Not gonna happen. You're not gonna pass. Okay? Have an anchor that can actually hold your boat. I would tell you something with a fluke on it. Okay, if you're going to go with the metal ones that had the real easy flukes to get in, 13, 15 pound. If you're going to go with a Navy style anchor for the kind of boats we use, 18, 20, 25 pound will work.
I got 2 anchors.
Okay?
A 30-pound river anchor.
Absolutely perfect. Just make sure you have something that can hold your boat.
Does you have to have a chain?
Has to have a chain. This is an Ohio thing, guys. Has to have a length of chain between the rod and the anchor.
That's on all anchors?
That's on whatever anchor is your main anchor. There should be at least a length of 3-foot chain on there. What that does is that takes the rope, because ropes float, right? So now you got your anchor, your rope's floating up. You take that chain, now the pull of the anchor is flat against the bottom. Good idea anyway.
Yeah, it always helped your anchor
Okay.
better.
Is it 3 foot or?
3 foot, 36 inches.
They sell
Okay.
coated chain
Yep, they sell coated chain.
side of your boat.
Yep.
That's it, I don't want to rust it out.
Here's the other thing. Listen up, guys. This is important. You're probably going to need about 5 foot of line for every foot of water you can be stuck in. You're going to need at least 100 feet of rope to pass the inspection. Doesn't have to be one coil. It can be multiple 50s. I would tell you to have 150 foot to be safe. 200 is perfect.
It was 200 for
They're pretty good about one. If you got 100, they'll probably say, hey, I know. But if you got 100 foot, they'll say, hey, get more anchor rope. If you got at least 100, you're probably going to pass. 150, probably for sure. 200 without question. They don't have to be connected. They don't have to be connected.
I got that.
Okay? Just be aware of that, guys. Okay?
Wait a sec, they don't have to be connected? You mean you don't have to have?
They don't have to be one continuous 200-foot run. You can have two 100s and have a way to be able to clip them together. Okay? Which is the best way to do it. Okay? Are we okay with that? I don't want anybody getting stuck, getting stopped. Because I don't want anybody. We have had guys, especially when we launched in the spring, it seems to happen more in the spring. We've had guys literally pull up to the boat ramp, get ready to go, and the guys are there and they just drive away and go get the stuff they need. So instead of having it, so you know. Okay, you've been warned. Okay. All right. Any questions before we get into the fishing part of this? Talk to me. Man, I'll tell you.
You gotta have your registration available too, right?
Have your registration available. Yep. You know, have your fishing license. I just have all that stuff. Can't stress that, guys. I don't want anybody to get
Is that a
in trouble.
necessity to have it laminated?
No. But you stick it in your wallet and it gets wet or rainy and now you don't have a license. Usually what I do is I print off 3 copies. I keep one in my wallet, one I got a little plastic or a Ziploc bag in my boat. I keep one in there all the time and I keep one in my truck. So if I do lose the other 2, I still have a license with me. So you can print them off. Okay, anybody got any questions before we go? I know a lot of you guys have been there. Let's talk a little bit about the fishing. Fishing is probably, I don't even want to say probably, fishing is going to be open water trolling with probably crankbaits. If you want to pull spinners, fine, waste your time. Mostly crankbaits, big spoons occasionally, but almost always long skinny crankbaits is the way to go. All right? So a couple things I would ask you to do before you go. I would ask you that you get pretty darn close to having your reels calibrated. Because one of the things we're going to do, one of the cool things about the trip, and I think one of the, for me personally, one of the best things about the trip is the fact that we are going to share information. Okay? So what you're going to get when you get there is you're going to get a file that kind of looks like this. This is going to be on your GPS. Okay? When we used to communicate via radio, we used to communicate with latitude and longitude. Okay? That worked all right until people figured they could just wait at the mouth of the river until we went out and follow us around and listen to the radio, and which I don't mind, but the people who were gorping on us weren't sharing information. So then I get a little upset. If you want to play with us, that's fine. If you don't want to share your information back, we have an issue. So now what you're going to get on your machine is you will have a Waypoint file that looks like this. And what you're going to have, these will actually be different. We change them every year. You'll see these exclamation points right here. These will actually have letters assigned to them. Okay? That is just a reference grid. Doesn't mean anything. It's just a reference grid for you to call off where you're fishing. We'll talk about this in just a second. These spots are actually where there's groups of waypoints. So the stop signs are actually fishing spots. Places you're going to want to go check, you're going to want to fish. So we've taken all the data we've gathered over the last 10 years down there, and we've got all these waypoints, and we just kind of broke it up. Instead of giving you all of those waypoints so your screen is completely full, we just kind of condensed it and gave you stop signs at the best fishing spots. Okay? Just kind of makes it easier. So you will have that Waypoint file on your machine. That's what you'll have on your GPS when you start the day.
In some place, is there a definition that spot 16 was 50 fish and spot 15 was 30 fish?
I'm going to tell you if there's a spot on there, it was more than 50 fish.
Okay.
If there's a spot on there, it's worth fishing at the right time. No, that's a great question. Yeah. No, we don't mess around down there. We've got lots of data, lots of data. So those are the best spots. Okay. So here's what we're going to do this year. Right. It's important that when you catch a fish, we want you to share the information with everybody else. Okay. This is not a tournament. It's not, hey, I caught a bunch, you caught none. Nah. That's not what we're all about. It's about everybody helping each other catch fish. Right. So what you'll do is, let's say you're right in here and you catch fish. Your radio call is going to give a reference to spot 22, okay, and reference waypoint U. So now everybody can look at that. They know exactly where you're fishing. We know where you're at. Nobody else knows.
Nobody else other than.
Our group, okay? Secret squirrel. Secret squirrel. Oh, yeah. I like it on the radio. When are the Walleye 101 guys coming? So it was funny when Jay used to own the store down there. He was telling the story. He goes, the guys start showing up the end of October. When are the Walleye 101 guys coming to town? When's the Walleye 101 coming to town? Because they would literally sit at the end of the pier and they just kind of hang out, and we'd go out and 10 o'clock, we'd have 15, 20 fish, 25 fish call off, and they'd start sliding in on where we're fishing. So we kind of had to become secret squirrel. Doom, doom, doo, doo, doo. So, okay. The radio call is pretty simple. First thing you're going to do is identify yourself. So Walleye 101, Walleye 101, so all the guys know, hey, I need to pay attention. Your boat name. Your location. Size of the fish. Depth of water. The lure. The color. How far back. And the speed. That's a 6-second call.
I really know all my lures.
Okay. Walleye 101, Walleye 101. This is Captain Crunch. I'm between spot 22 and reference waypoint U. Just caught a 6-pounder in 26 feet of water on a 800 series reef runner, gold clown, 65 feet back, 1.2 miles an hour. Done. How long did that take? That's all I want you to say.
And if you stumble and you haven't done it or never
Yep.
done it or haven't done it for a while, don't worry.
Don't worry about it.
We'll just hang in and go,
Yep.
what the hell did you say?
Bare naked lady.
But yeah, bare naked lady. Al's fishing with bare naked ladies. Remember though, okay, as much as guys are okay with what we do, it's not a cell phone. Okay, that radio is there for everybody to use. So get on, get done, be finished. Okay, just like a party line. As soon as you hear somebody say Walleye 101, Walleye 101, you should have something on your dashboard to write with and write on. Okay, Walleye 101, Walleye 101, grab your notepad. Boom, 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 done. There's nothing more frustrating than somebody calling out something and 17 guys going, where you at, where you at, where you at, where you at, where you at? Okay, just have a little notepad. Carry a notepad in your pocket. I just carry just a regular theme book right on the dash of my boat. I hear something, I just start writing. Just have something to write on. Okay? A lot of guys use wet, not dry erase, but wet erase markers. They'll actually write either on, if they got a fiberglass boat, it's simple. Just comes on and comes off, and it actually works on painted aluminum too. If you got paint, don't do it on your gunnels because I don't think yours are painted. Are they? Try it in a little spot first. Because I know mine are white, powder coat paint. I can write on there with a wet erase marker, and then just take a little bit of wet rag and wipe it right off.
Or grease pencil.
Grease pencil works. Coolest thing I saw last year salmon fishing, guy had side curtains, clear side curtains, and he physically took a grease pencil and wrote down all his riggers and all his things right on his inside. I thought, that's pretty cool. Now, there's a guy who gets it. Of course, he didn't know how to use his GPS, so we caught 6 fish, we could have caught 107, but apparently at least he knew what lures weren't catching fish. Okay? Pay attention to this. Here's what I'm going to tell you. Okay? Those 3 things are the most important. Okay? You hear a guy, hey, I'm in 42 feet of water. I'm in 42 feet of water. I just caught one in 42 feet of water. Here comes another 42 feet of water, 41 feet of water. And you're in 38, I'd get a little deeper. Don't need to pick up and run where he's at. Just move out a little deeper. Because chances are pretty good if they're biting in 42 feet over there, they're probably biting in 42 feet over here.
Now, is this information going to be in the information you sent us?
Yep.
Okay, good.
Okay? So learn your lures. At least get an idea of what they are. Okay? White with a red belly works. That's fine. Just, Okay? I just don't want to hear, it's about 6 inches long and it's kind of red on the front. Really? Okay? Guy came in yesterday with this tackle box, and he had actually physically taken like a white model pencil and actually had written the lure and the color on the back of every lure. Just wrote the color on the back of the lure. So he knew, catch fish. Okay. All right. Any question on that? So that's the waypoint file you'll get when you arrive Thursday. That'll go on everybody's machine. So we'll all have the same reference waypoints. Okay. It just makes it a whole lot easier than calling out. Does anybody not have a radio?
Looking to get one.
You will buy the trip, right?
Yeah. If anybody has one.
Unless you don't want to hear. Unless you don't want to hear what we're catching.
Yeah. I'm gonna get it.
Channel 72.
We'll see when we get down there. We'll let you know Thursday night.
I'm gonna try and get
Yep, we'll see. Are we okay with that?
one.
Okay.
Good sales. Let me know.
I know there's been a lot of guys who have been down here before. This is actually the fun part. It's really fun for me because I like to listen to everybody. Like, oh, that's sale again. Oh, there goes the Hill Boys. Oh, I like to listen to who's catching fish, right? So that way I know how many I have to catch because some guys I can't let them beat me. Some guys I don't care. Some guys I gotta have more than. But it's kind of neat to hear the guys on the radio. It's kind of.
Handheld radio is okay.
What's that?
Handheld radio.
Yeah, handheld radio work. Yeah, we're close enough that we're.
$60, $80 at
Yeah.
West Marine
Yep.
on sale right now.
And we're not, guys. This is where we launched from. This is the Huron River right here. Okay. The Vermilion is up here. This is Cranberry Creek right in here. Very rarely are we more than 4.5 miles offshore. I mean, that's rare. Most of the time, we're within a couple miles of shore. So, okay.
Yeah.
You come out of that marina, you gotta stay in the channel for,
No, you're here. That's all.
once you're out.
Yeah, once you're out of the ramp, you can just head her and away you go.
Tell them about the wake in the river.
Why is there boats on there when most, there's boats right there?
Where?
Tiny one right there.
Where? Those are fish.
Oh.
Those are fishing spots. Okay. What we'll do Thursday night, guys, I'll have a map out, and we'll also show you on the big screen on the projector. Thursday night, we'll show you some of the nomenclature, the dumping grounds, Cedar Point, Cranberry Creek. We'll show you some of the local landmarks so you kind of know what people are talking about. Okay. All right. Calibrate your reels. Does everybody understand what that is? Making sure that when you have 100 feet of line out, your counter actually says 100. Yes? Anybody here not know? As long as John knows, I'm fine. He'll teach you. Okay? It's
How many feet are we running back? Over 100.
that's an excellent question, Scotty. I would tell you that probably 75% of our fish come 40 to 80 back. Those are pretty common numbers. Occasionally 100, occasionally 120. There was a year we had to run 180, 190.
You start running reef runners that far back.
Yeah, most of our stuff is 25 to 80, depending on what's going
I
on.
got
So
a couple of reels set up with 3 colors and 50 foot of,
okay, yeah,
so I'm
that's just let people know you just caught it on 3 colors of lead. That's if you catch a fish, just let people know you caught it on 3 colors of lead. Okay.
Never be afraid to run them high.
We'll talk about that Thursday night. All right. Yes, sir.
What pound test line do you put on your reel?
Okay. Great question. The question was what pound test to put on your reels. I really don't care what pound test you use, as long as the diameter is somewhere around 13 to 14 thousandths of an inch. Because what that does 2 things. That works off the precision trolling book exactly. And 99% of the guys are running a line that's that diameter.
14-pound tri line.
14-pound Sensation, 10-pound XT, 14-pound Sensation.
I don't have sensation. This is regular.
What do you have? 14-pound what?
Tri line.
Which one? Trilene makes about 17. You got XT? So you're going to be a little thicker. 14-pound XT is about 17 thousandths of an inch. So your baits are actually be running a little bit shallower than everybody else's. So if somebody says 80 feet, you might want to go to 100
Yes.
because your baits are running shallower.
Thank you.
Okay? So 10-pound XT, 14-pound Sensation, or we've been using the 16-pound Sunline the last couple of years. All 3 of those lines kind of fit right in there. Okay? I'll have the calibration stuff set up at the Conservation Club Thursday. I'll have the 100-foot ruler. So if you want to calibrate your reels, we can show you. If you're not quite sure how to do it, we can show you how to do it. And if you want to do it down there, you can do it. We'll have line down there for you too. Okay? All right, let's talk a little bit about the fish we're going to see. You will see lots of fish on your sonar if you're in the right place. Lots of fish on your sonar if you're in the right place. Sometimes the most frustrating thing can be seeing lots of fish on your sonar and not catching them. Trust me, okay? I would tell you this, if we're looking at the water column this way, your kill zone are fish that are in that 10 to about 23 to 24 foot range. Anything deeper than that, stop, leave, go. You can if you want to screw around all day. Okay? I don't fish for fish any deeper than 20, 22, 24 feet. Experience has showed me they just don't bite. They get in here, they're usually on fire. Okay? Those fish get 10 to 24 feet down, they're almost always on fire. Now, the other thing that Dan Morrison, his dad, and a couple guys found out last year, there's a lot of fish up here that you'll never see on your sonar. Especially if the water's dirty.
Yes. Eating shad.
Okay? So I would tell you you're much better off to be too high than you are to have your lures too low. Always aim on the high side. Okay? So if you see fish down here, you know, get your lures up, 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 up.
8 feet back.
8 feet back worked last year, yes. Okay, so once you start seeing fish deeper than 22, 24, if it's the first pot of fish you see the day, I would keep driving. Okay, you might want to mark that spot and come back a couple hours later, because at some point they're going to be up and active and aggressively feeding, but at that point they're usually not. Usually at 24 is the number. And just so you know, that's 120 feet back on a reef runner.
Do you add a lead weight in line with it?
Do not. Nope, just run them flat.
24 feet, you would do it with spoons.
Sure, yeah. Yep. No, crankbaits just run straight back there. Yep. 120. 120 feet back is 20 feet deep. Or 24 feet deep, I'm sorry. 24 feet deep.
20 foot is 80.
28 foot is 80. 120 feet back is 24 feet. I very, very rarely will run a reef runner back further than 120. It's kind of against my principles down there. He's got thicker line, right? So you may be out 150, 160.
I may just.
I would tell you. Or put 300 feet on each reel of the other stuff. Use your other stuff as backing. And put 300 feet. Oh. It's all right. It's all right.
Calibrated and everything.
It's all right. You're fine. Yeah, just need to adjust a little bit. Okay? The reason I don't like, let me back up. The reason I don't like to run my baits much further than that, number one, the fish are, has anybody had, a lot of you guys have been here, those fish any deeper than that really